Got
This
it.
is exciting stuff.
Not a lot of people are doing podcasts these days.
Not a lot of people are doing podcasts.
We're gonna get in on the cutting edge new thing.
We're getting ahead of the curve on this, is actually what I've heard.
For real, we're not half a decade too late.
Well, everyone, welcome to the currently unnamed podcast. I'm Andrew Dow.
I'm Tripp Davidson.
We're gonna get in. What are we gonna be talking about this on Tripp? We're gonna be talking about basketball, life. We have a few different fun little segments for the people.
Yeah, it should be a good time.
I'm excited to get into this. We have one current event today. We have currently a investigation going on NBA point guard Rajon Rondo pulling a firearm on his wife. What are your thoughts on that, Tripp?
As a 23% career 3-point shooter, his wife is probably fine.
It's probably pretty safe for kids. Don't have to duck. We'll just jump into the obvious elephant in the room. The Phoenix Suns lost last night, breaking my heart in every way possible. And I have one big question for you. Do you think DeAndre Ayton is going to be in Phoenix next year, Tripp?
Yeah, I think he's got to be. He's so good. I mean, one game can't, undo the last 2 years of amazing work that Chris Paul, Booker, and Ayton have done together.
I don't even know if I want him.
Number one draft pick who's averaging 21 and 12 or something like that.
Yeah, but if we package him and Cameron Payne in a deal instead of giving Ayton a max and we pick up Rudy Gobert,
nah.
You don't think so?
The problem last night was not the defense.
Okay, you're right. The problem was they forgot how to play basketball. That was the main issue.
There's absolutely Chris Paul team is absolutely insane to say there was no shot creation whatsoever.
I mean, they hit 4 combined shots between the 3 best players on our team.
It was insane. Devin Booker looked like he had no idea what to do with the basketball.
No, he looked like he looked like he had never practiced against a double team in his life.
So, ironically enough, I didn't actually watch the entire game. I turned it on to see how bad the beatings were. But what were they doing, you think, to stop Chris Paul and Devin Booker?
Well, Devin Booker was getting double teamed every time he touched the ball, which was absolutely ridiculous. But honestly, the problem was Chris Paul was creating shots, but every shot was to Jay Crowder, who didn't have it that night. Jay Crowder just can't hit a shot to save his life. He was trying to draw fouls off every jump shot he took. And Jay Crowder unders are what made me have money through these playoffs. It was a lock. And I honestly, he's great to have on the team as a defensive player, but I'd rather have PJ Tucker than Jay Crowder.
Yeah, I think so too. What's PJ Tucker now? 37?
He's probably nearing 40 on that Heat team.
Yeah, so he's kind of like that Andre Iguodala type now, where it's you don't really have him for the regular season. You're bringing him in just for the postseason.
Literally just for the playoffs. But honestly, I think without Chris Paul, if you subbed me in instead of Chris Paul this series, we might have had a better chance after his performance this whole series.
Hall of Fame point guard. I mean, okay, if you're looking at just that game, you could run up and down and do nothing.
Yeah, I could run up and down and take up space. I could do that. I could take up space on a court and maybe hit someone.
Yeah, you can, elbow someone. You can argue with the refs.
I could take out Luka on a dirty play for sure.
Could you even reach him with an elbow?
Yeah, probably not. He's pretty big. He's pretty fucking built. But it's okay. Now that the Suns are out, we have 4 teams left. We have the Mavericks against the Golden State Warriors and the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. What's your favorite matchup out of these two coming to the conference finals?
Dude, I think Luka right now, if you're a basketball fan, you gotta watch what he's doing.
Yeah.
Just because, it's, I was talking to you about this before, but it's almost LeBron-esque.
Yeah.
Where it's just everything on the basketball court flows around him. And you're just like, oh my God, what is he going to do next? Oh, he's, taking contact into a floater, like, or, step back threes like 4 times a game.
And not only that, his supporting cast is fucking terrible. Supporting Spencer Dinwiddie and Jalen Brunson as his 2 backup best players is pretty abysmal compared to the talent on some of these other teams currently.
Yeah, they're not what you expect when you they're not what you expect when you think of like what a playoff team looks like, which is why, I think that there's obviously 2 scenarios. It's for this playoff series between them and the Warriors. It's either the Warriors, beat them in like 5 games, make it look pretty routine,
and they just kind of likely,
and they kind of expose them for their youth, kind of like what they probably just did to the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I think the Grizzlies are like 2 years away from contending.
Yeah, or this is like a 7-game series and Luka comes out on top.
If Luka keeps averaging 36 a game, I honestly don't think that the Warriors can win this series, because it's pretty absurd what he has been doing. Like you said, very LeBron-esque. Yeah. But I just don't know. I mean, honestly, I think this is going to be, in the East side of things, I think this is going to be the Celtics' year. I think Jason Tatum comes out and establishes himself as like a top 5 player in the league now.
Yeah.
Now that we know Giannis is a for sure fraud, obviously was never that good to begin with. Faking, not my MVP, never my MVP. Giannis has been exposed for the fraud he is.
Remember Suns in 4 from last year?
Yeah, that would have been really cool.
How'd that go?
It was rough because Giannis, the fake basketball player, came out and just ran through people for 7 games straight, but that's fine.
How many chicken nuggets did he order after that final game? You remember? You familiar with that one again?
How many was it?
I think it was 50. It wasn't 51. It wasn't 49. It was 50.
So fucked. That's so fucked.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I think this is honestly going to be Jason Tatum's year. I don't think the Heat are that good. They don't have Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
And I mean, Tyler Hero is their top scorer.
Yeah, that can't happen. And also with the Heat, without Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler has been their prime creator, which he's averaging like 6 assists per game in the playoffs, which is good, but nobody else on the team has more than like 3.
Yeah, I agree.
So they need more like, creativity, not shot creation, I think, because they got Tyler Hero and guys like that, but
they just need someone who doesn't want to shoot and specifically is in there to pass the ball. Like Gabe doesn't Vincent. Want to do any. Yeah. Who the fuck is Gabe Vincent? I was looking at their depth chart earlier and I was like, all right, they don't have Kyle Lowry. Who's their backup point guard? Who is Gabe Vincent?
I feel like he was a Piston at some point. Like just nobody gives a shit.
Just nobody cares like about Gabe Vincent. Game. I mean, honestly, I think it's going to end up being Warriors Celtics in like this weird classic NBA Finals matchup where it's like Steph versus Tatum, but if Steph wins, it's like a retirement tour. But if Tatum wins, like it's the beginning of like a 5-year stint of contending every year.
I can see that. I don't know. I think the Mavs could beat the Warriors.
Like, I agree. It's gonna be tough. I don't know. Do they have enough players? I'm like a matchup guy. I'm a big matchup guy.
Yeah. And I don't think the Warriors, like, okay, the Suns had so much trouble guarding Luka, Dinwiddie, and Brunson. Like all 3 of those guys are amazing with the ball in their hands. They can create shots. I agree. Brunson's even going down to the post and like working people. Like, dude, for a guy who's like 6'2",
he's been bodying people. He's 6'2", but he's built like a fucking linebacker. Like he's been powering through. The amount of and one shots this guy has been creating in the playoffs is fucking ridiculous.
Wild. So like, yeah, especially with the Warriors or without that, who's the defensive dude?
Finney Smith.
No.
On the Warriors?
On the Warriors.
Oh, Draymond Green?
No, the dude who got hurt.
Gary Payton II. Yeah. GP2.
Like, I don't think they've got the dudes to guard Dinwiddie, Luka, and Brunson.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to have Jordan Poole guard Luka for 36 minutes a game, your entire series is going to go very poorly.
Yeah. I mean, to flip that, I don't think the Mavs are going to be able to guard Steph, Clay, Poole.
Yeah, this is going to be, I think it's just going to be an offensive battle of a series, and just nothing. There's not going to be much great defense that's going to be played. It's not going to look like a playoff series because it's just going to be offensive, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting because the Mavs have showed that like under pressure they want to, or at least in that Suns game, they double team the lead scorer and they try to let other guys beat them.
Yeah.
But with the Warriors, the other guys are like Klay Thompson. Like,
yeah,
I think
it's Klay Thompson. You can't leave him open. He could go out for 36 and hit 8 threes at any given point.
Yeah.
Which is just fucking crazy to me.
I was happy to see that just because, he'd been gone for like 3 years and then finally like had a good moment.
I want Klay Thompson to win a finals MVP more than anything ever.
Just for 3-and-D exploits.
Yeah, more than anything I've ever wanted, I want Klay Thompson to win a finals MVP. I don't know why, but I just would prefer that. I don't even care if they win the series, but I just want him to win the MVP.
Nah, if the Warriors win, it's gonna go to Draymond, who averaged like 6, 6, and 7.
I would boycott the league. I would boycott the league again, but I'm off it. I might be back on the boycott if the Suns don't get rid of Ayton and the Kings don't get a good pick this year.
Oh, well, then the Kings part's fucked. They're going to take like some 23-year-old from a D2 school.
Yeah, and then trade him if he turns out to be good.
Yeah, the second he shows a little bit of potential, they'll be like, oh, we could flip him for, I don't know, who's like a shit. Like
flip him for Porzingis. We could flip him for Porzingis.
Put him next to Sabonis and we'll have like an backcourt.
That's not something I want. All right, we're going to take a real quick break here before we get into our next segment. All right, everyone, we're back, and we have a segment, a little basketball expertise from Tripp and I on what role player we would add to every single one of these conference teams that we think would really elevate them into the finals. And I've actually got a good one here for the Celtics, who have a lack of depth at point guard with Marcus Smart running point, which I just think is absurd. And
he's valuable.
He's so valuable. And then there's Derek White coming off the bench, who just is having one of the worst conference like offensive performances I've ever seen ever.
When he got picked up, everybody was like, oh, that was an amazing signing for the Celtics. He'll be great off the bench.
Exactly. He was supposed to be, because he's a great defender and he could score and he was in the Spurs system for so long. But I think if the Celtics had TJ McConnell, like a current TJ McConnell off the Pacers, I think he would run that offense flawlessly. Like, he could come in off the bench. He could start. TJ McConnell is what Peyton Pritchard is going to be in like 3 years. But TJ McConnell could come in, play good, scrappy defense, hit open shots, get amazing assists for the Celtics. And they would probably only take the Heat like 5 games with TJ McConnell.
He's like another coach out there.
It's like having another coach. He's very coachable, is what people have said about him.
I think every sentence that TJ McConnell has ever been in has had the word scrappy in it somewhere.
Well, he's not athletic, so he's got to be scrappy.
Right. He's sneaky quick out there.
Yeah, he's very sneaky quick. He has a great character about him.
But what's so? I mean, he is kind of like another Marcus Smart.
Yeah, he's like a Marcus rebounding. Without the rebounding, he's like another Marcus Smart. But I think TJ McConnell has better ball handling than Marcus Smart, and he can run an offense.
Yeah, and this is off the bench, right?
Yeah, off the bench, I think.
Okay,
I think off
so
the bench.
The idea it's during the like 5 minutes in the game where Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown don't have the ball in their hands.
Yeah, it's like say Marcus Smart gets 2 early fouls in the first quarter, or Jaylen Brown. They need like an offensive spark. I think you bring in TJ McConnell and you instantly get 6 points.
Yeah.
It's a swing.
Or, against the Heat, like, I don't know, you need someone to play good defense against Tyler Hero for a couple minutes. Like
someone eats. So, okay, so you're going to lock up Tyler Hero and TJ McConnell. That sounds like a bold.
I'd not lock him up, but, do something.
I like that, honestly. Who do you think?
Foul him. Let him know you're there.
Who would you put on the Celtics?
Oh, damn. That's tough because, Yeah, I think it would have to be another point guard.
Yeah, it would have to be someone, but not like someone who shoots, not like
You know,
another scorer.
it's funny. I was like, oh, Dennis Schroeder would be really good on this team. And I was like, no, they literally tried that and it failed.
He is one of the biggest busts of like an offseason signing for every team that signed him after the Hawks. He is
Oh my
just like,
God.
he's convinced everyone in the league that he's a necessity until he actually plays like 10 games for your team. They're like, this guy fucking sucks.
Remember when the Lakers offered him $100 million? And
That
he was like,
was,
no, I'm gonna bet on myself.
he is so fucking dumb. Like how do you turn down $100 million when you know you're not good enough and you know you're not worth it?
Nah, dude. It's like I think there are more good point guards now than there have like ever been.
Oh, 100%.
Like what team was he looking at? Like, oh, that's the team that's gonna pay me a max deal.
Like who would have paid him? The Pistons?
No.
Like they have Cade Cunningham. They have good guards.
They're not.
But also another team that needs a point guard is the Heat playing the Celtics. I honestly love Jordan Clarkson on that team.
Yeah.
Coming off the bench when the Heat are shooting like the lowest out of any team for 3-point percentages. Kyle Lowry is day to day with his like weird hamstring injury, even though he has like the hamstrings of a power lifter slash.
Yeah, man.
He's
that dude only leg day.
Only leg day for Kyle Lowry, and it's really showing in his butt. But I would no, honestly, Jordan Clarkson comes off the bench and has like 15 to 16 a game for the Heat.
Yeah. Yeah, it would definitely be good. I think he overlaps a little bit with like what Tyler Hero is doing.
Yeah, he does like the exact same thing, but a little bit more athletically.
Yeah, they do need the shooting, which, I mean, every team needs more shooting, but
maybe like a JJ Redick out of retirement.
Dude, grab him. These podcasts too these days.
Just add what they're already not playing Duncan Robinson. You already have Tyler Hero. Just add JJ Redick to the lineup.
Yeah, it's so weird. Didn't they give Duncan Robinson like
90 million? Duncan Robinson 90 million, and he didn't play a single minute of the semifinals. And he's like, I think he's the best shooter. He's the best shooter left in the East for sure.
Yeah.
But he's such a defensive liability.
Yeah. So maybe it's a matchup thing. So maybe, in this next matchup, they're a little bit more likely to bring in Duncan Robinson.
Yeah.
And they have the shooting. And in that case, I don't think they need someone like Jordan Clarkson. Like, honestly, like somebody like a Rondo, I feel like would be like decent.
I would like that. Like someone like either Rondo or who's another one of those like veteran point guards that you can bring in. Just any veteran point guard that's just going to play make for you, like Lowry would.
Yeah.
Just anyone like that, honestly, would just.
Anyone who's ever been labeled a floor general.
A floor general.
Bring that dude in.
Just bring in. Joe Ingles could run an offense. Where is he?
He needs to be on every team.
Joe Ingles could be on every team and instantly probably make them a contender.
What word do you think of when you think Joe Ingles?
Fundamental.
Nah, I think electric.
Electric?
Joe Ingles?
Joe Ingles does electrify a crowd. Maybe there's certain fans in a Jazz crowd for reasons unknown.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Donovan Mitchell,
maybe not so much.
He might be enemy number one in Utah right now.
I love Donovan Mitchell. I want the Kings to trade for him. I think he could be the best scorer in the league if he had some help.
Yeah. God, that'd be so fucking sideways if you guys traded Halliburton and then traded for Mitchell.
That would be, honestly, I would trade Davion Mitchell and like another guy or like some picks for Donovan Mitchell. Just like swap them, because I don't know. I think Donovan Mitchell, he had the most promise coming out of that draft class in like the first 2 years, but now it seems he's like fallen behind everyone else.
Yeah, it's like we were all like, I feel like, Jason Tatum has been the guy where we're like, oh, he's kind of been at that just all-star level forever now. And now he's ascended. And now Donovan Mitchell's the guy who just completely stagnated.
Like Donovan, he's just stuck in the Western like semi-conference, or not even. He didn't get out of the first round this year, but he's just been stuck in the first and second round with Rudy Gobert for years.
Yeah, no, they're in like the NBA dead zone, which is like that 7th and 8th seed,
like the Damian Lillard zone.
Yeah, you're never getting to the NBA finals.
Honestly, Donovan Mitchell could have a Damian Lillard like career.
he's just not. He's not like, I don't know. I feel like Damian Lillard is way more dangerous.
Yeah, I would be
Offensively.
much more scared to like play just a Damian Lillard led team with no people versus a Donovan Mitchell, who's like one
Yeah,
of the least efficient players in the entire league.
exactly. Like I feel like he doesn't even take like horrible shots either. He's just not hitting.
No, they just don't go in. And
Yeah.
honestly, a lot of that is due to like who's he gonna pass to? He's probably covered so tightly and like so double teamed. I bet
Yeah.
his like double team ratios throughout the playoffs were like in the top 5. And all
Devin
they had
Booker
to
just shot up those rankings.
yeah, Devin Booker shot up those rankings in literally like the past 2 games where they just got I can't even talk about the Suns. I don't want to. Devin Booker has to pay for my therapy for the next like 3 months. I think that's what I think.
That
But honestly, but even going into the Mavs, I think the Mavs need a big man. I think like a current LaMarcus Aldridge who's just writing up bench minutes on the
yeah.
Nets team could come in and give the Mavericks like extremely valuable minutes when their best center is Maxi Kleba, who just like sits out on the 3-point line. Like granted, he shoots like 50% from 3, but all he does is just sit out there the entire time.
Yeah.
But like LaMarcus Aldridge comes in, gives them valuable, legitimate rebounds and like instant offense when Luka's not out there and Dinwiddie needs someone to run a pick and roll with.
Yeah. Yeah. The Maverick big men are just so like I like Bertans, even though I don't think he's been good in like 3 years.
Yeah, but I like Bertans. He was always good on the Wizards.
Yeah, he hits threes, but other than that, like they're just so uninteresting.
Yeah, Dwight Powell is the most useless and like boring player to watch. He's their backup center and he averages like 2 rebounds a game.
Yeah, no, they need. I mean, obviously it's working out for them this year, but
Yeah.
if you were to choose an upgrade, it would definitely be like someone like that, you know, older vet rebound guy.
Blake Griffin.
Yeah,
the whole Nets bench.
yeah, exactly. God,
Literally
the
the
Nets
whole Nets
figured it
bench.
out.
But honestly, my favorite player to add to any of these teams would be Josh Hart on the Warriors. With Gary Payton out, Otto Porter out, and Andre Iguodala out, and Wiggins who just doesn't play defense, you put Josh Hart out there to like just lock up Luka and hit open threes. I don't think anyone would beat them if you had Josh Hart on this team.
Lock up Luka.
Yeah, like just lock up Luka to the 35. Point. Yeah, he's only going to average like 32 points a game instead of the 37 he's about to have on Wiggins.
Dude, the fact that Wiggins can't play defense is shocking.
Yeah, no,
it's like I don't know. I just feel like
he's so big, long, and athletic. Like he should be able to lock up whoever he wants, but the effort is not there.
Yeah, or maybe if not the effort, like the know-how.
Yeah,
I don't know enough about basketball to start critiquing dude's defense. Like, oh, his you know his feet aren't moving there. Yeah, exactly.
His feet don't slide well enough on that floor. He's got heavy feet.
Get on his hip, man. Get on his
get on his feet. Give him a little hand check on it. Give him a love tap on the back of his leg.
Nah, none of that.
Honestly, but to wrap up our basketball, who do you think's the most boring team left? Like, who do you just not really care that's still in this thing?
Honestly, the Warriors. Like,
shout out Dominic Hyde. Fuck the Warriors.
I just don't like. It was so boring during their dynasty.
Yeah,
watching them hit threes and nothing else.
And just run every team off the court by 20. I think it would be nice. I want them to get to a game 7. I want Luka to have like 45 points and just end Curry's reign.
Like, do you remember you'd be sitting in like a sports bar or something and it would be the third quarter and a dude in a Warriors jersey would just start getting really excited?
Yeah, it was always
we're really good in the third quarter.
It was always an Indian guy. It's always like some Indian guy who's like in a Curry jersey, but like Lakers shorts. It's so dumb. All right, but let's wrap this up with what would Tripp do? Tripp, what would you do if your roommate's cat unassumingly attacked you?
Why would it attack me?
Well, that's what the people want to know. Why would the cat attack you? And if you injured the cat and said attack, would you pay for its vet bill?
I mean, I'd have to, but I think it wouldn't come to that.
Would you tell your roommate that it was you?
I mean, how fucked up is this cat?
I wouldn't tell the roommate in the first place if this cat fucking attacked me.
His cat would be like limping over. You're like, what happened? Like,
I wasn't home, man. I don't know what happened to the cat.
I don't know.
Cats do weird shit. Cats do weird shit all the time.
Him at the TV.
I didn't fucking drop kick this cat across the room. I don't know. If it came down to $4,000, I don't think I would pay for it. I would never tell my roommate.
How much does it cost to put them down?
That's a good question. I think it's like like $300 to put a cat down. That seems about right.
Cheaper than that if you just do it in the backyard.
Jesus Christ. Well, I think honestly, I don't know why the cat would attack anyone.
Dude, I don't know. Maybe like I sat. It was dark and I like sat down.
You provoked the cat.
Yeah, I don't know what I could possibly do to have a cat bite me.
That's what a lot of people want to know about this cat. All right, moving on. Moving on from what would Tripp do? Oh, wait, you have any other thoughts on the cat?
No, I think enough's been said.
All right, let's go to some QFPs. All right, this first one we have here is congrats on retirement and on podcasting. What are your guys' thoughts on the afterlife? Tripp, what are your thoughts on the afterlife? Because I guess I have a few. I know what I don't want the afterlife to be.
What I mean, yeah, maybe we should start what we think it is rather than what it isn't.
I think in many ways, I wish there wasn't an afterlife because I don't want to know where I would be.
Yeah.
What if it didn't go well for you?
I don't know. I gotta think I've been a pretty good dude in my.
Yeah, I think we got to lean on the fact that we're good people.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the afterlife could be good to us. I like to think it's in the clouds. Like I like to think of like a cloud setting, like from This Is the End. Like that's the like where NSYNC pops up or the Backstreet Boys pops up and does a number anytime I think about it.
Yeah.
That's how I like to picture my afterlife.
God, this is getting real morbid.
Well, not sad. That either of us are ever gonna die. We're gonna live forever, obviously.
Never ever. They'll have invented like bionic hearts by the time we're going.
Yeah, you're
there'll just be 40 billion people on Earth because nobody's dying.
No, I think we should just end reproduction. Just no more babies.
No more.
Just everyone's immortal. No more babies.
Yeah, they what did they do? They got rid of Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, they got
it's on you. No more babies.
No more babies. Right? You all thought Roe v. Wade was gonna be some abortion thing. It just means no more babies for anyone. You're all cut off.
We're answering a question with another question.
I mean, at the rate we're going, I don't want to populate any more idiots into this world. I don't.
Yeah, I wonder what the ratio is. Like kid born to idiot.
There's probably a ratio for it. It's probably pretty high. I mean, how many people are in Oklahoma?
The whole state.
The whole state of Oklahoma is just fall into that category.
That right there is why Trump won the 2016 presidential election, because Californians will just look at his state and be like, everyone there is an idiot.
Everyone there is fucking dumb. Have you ever been to Missouri?
No.
All right. Well, there might be an afterlife. We have many thoughts on it.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. We'll see. I would just like to become.
we will see.
We will see. I would just like to become dust. Can I just become dust, like magical dust? All right. We have another one. How are either of you qualified for this?
I was asked to be a part of this.
I think that you and I have many qualifications for many things. I think we're both intellectual people who people like to come to and talk to about things. I think people like listening to us.
We definitely like listening to ourselves.
I think you're right. I think when it comes down to us being at a bar or a party, we end up talking to ourselves.
Yeah.
Like just amongst ourselves, not to ourselves, amongst ourselves in the corner.
Yeah.
Things that other people, if they overheard, would just be kind of concerned about us.
They're like, dude, why are you talking about soccer from 1996 right now?
Why are you guys talking about what Mason Mount would do if he came to America?
Nothing.
He would hate it.
Yeah. They wouldn't have any penalties here for him to miss.
All right. We have one more QFP for this week, Tripp. Are you ready for this one? This one's directed to you. Describe your morning routine to us.
There's no
morning routine.
Rhyme or reason. Sometimes I wake up at 5 a.m. just from a sheer.
That's me every night at like 3:30. I'm up and I'm like, and then I look around my room and I'm like, I can't fucking sleep. And then I lay back down. I'm like, it's too quiet. This is so fucked.
Yeah,
there's no morning routine.
So there's no timeline. There's a couple of things that happen, but there's no like this timeline could start at 5 a.m. It could also start at like 1 p.m.
Okay.
Usually
like
closer
that.
to the latter.
Yeah.
I get up. I probably watch a like YouTube kind of like mini documentary or a video essay.
A video essay.
Yeah, about what Miguel Cabrera did for the Detroit Tigers in 2013.
It sounds pretty intellectual to me.
Oh yeah, it's riveting stuff. And then I go make some eggs.
Oh, eggs, because you're a big protein guy. You're bulking.
Big protein guy.
You're obviously a bulking.
Some bacon.
Yeah. Okay. If I don't have my 2 Eggo waffles, it's like the day never even started for me.
I can't imagine you get up and do anything except like Dino Nugs.
Yeah, I mean, I have done that when like it's past 10:30. I'm like, I don't want anything else except for like just some chicken nuggets right now for breakfast.
Yeah. Lately I've been bad. Like it'll be like 10:30 and I'll be like, I can have a Coke with breakfast.
Oh, that would honestly just make me shake the entire day.
No, dude, it's honestly bad. Like I'll get up in the morning and I'll just start thinking about when I can get my next soda. Like I think I'm a full-on drug
You gotta
addict.
get off that. You gotta start drinking some juices. You gotta have Riley take you to some pressed juicery and get you these. You gotta get on the system.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today because I was sitting at breakfast drinking water and I was like literally just like, should I go through the McDonald's drive-through later and get a soda? And I was like, I gotta get off this.
I get a hankering for Fanta. I went into a Lowe's the other day because I wanted Fanta so bad.
You went to a Lowe's?
Yeah, because you know how all those places sell soda at the front? So I went into Lowe's.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lowe's.
But, so you got like a lukewarm Fanta?
Yeah, it was sick. It was so sick. Dude. Well, we're actually running out of time on our Zoom meeting, ironically. But anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed our first run at this. I know there's only less than a minute, but we're gonna come up with a name. Leave comments on what segments you might want Tripp and I to do in the ladders of this.
And leave reviews. We're very curious if anybody actually enjoys this.
Yeah, or like wants to keep hearing us. Hopefully we can have some in-person sessions.
Not a chance anybody has actually made it this far.
No one's gonna make it this far. That's why I would like to say Tripp does cocaine. Tripp does cocaine.
That's incriminating.
That's very incriminating.
Untrue.
All right. Well, we'll see everyone next time. Bye, Tripp.